What's up, my homies and homettes? Welcome to another video. Welcome to Science Domain, where we talk a lot about politics as well as the entertainment industry, because y'all know and I know that the entertainment industry is dribbling with a lot of politics. And today I've got to talk about this video that has gone viral recently. I'm pretty sure some of you might have seen it. It's a dash cam of two female police officers who are actually witnessing a crime happening, a shooting happening right in front of them. And what did? They zoom jetted away from the incident.
Detroit police officers are right there as a gunman hangs out of the back of a car and fires shots at a man hitting him. This is from their own in-car camera. In a shocking twist, it appears those officers just speed away instead of jumping into action.
This incident is troubling. And it is unfortunate and is not consistent with our training.
Chief James White forced to answer our questions about the officers' lack of action when this video came to light last night. But this took place back on June the 30th. We asked the gunman and people in the blue car, did police let them get away?
That's part of why we are very concerned. We should have had an opportunity to get them off the street.
Did those same officers come back to help the man who was shot?
They did. They did, in fact, circle back
up
to help the man that was shot in the leg.
Did the officers even call the shooting in?
Yes. And I'm going to leave that there because we're getting into the meat of the investigation.
Shocking is an understatement. I think we all have the idea that the police are supposed to head towards danger as we all are running away from it.
Local 4 legal analyst Neil Rockine says not only can the officers face discipline within the department if wrongdoing is found, but they potentially could be charged with a misdemeanor for what we see here.
Now, from that particular report, one of the key things that I've gotten from that is the fact that these two women are going to be in trouble because it seems like they didn't report the whole incident properly. And from what I gathered, I actually read a full report on the whole story, and I found out that it seems like the only way this situation was found out was that somebody was making a routine check on, dash cam reported or logged in and found out what happened. And this is how these women got in trouble. One of them has been put on an administrative leave, as they mentioned, and I think the other one is on suspension or something like that, maybe the one that drove. Now, this is the reason why a lot of people are saying, are women fit to do this? Would men do something like this? Well, for some of those of you out there who feel that men would never do this, or policeman would never do this, well then, hold my beer.
The video is less than a minute long. On the left of the screen, you can see a Chicago police officer with his gun drawn. A woman in pink positions herself behind the officer. A man pointing a gun emerges from behind a door, and the solo officer retreats down the stairs. The woman can be heard asking if the man is going to shoot her, and the video ends. The Chicago Police Department won't confirm why they were called to this apartment, what the conflict was, why that Chicago police officer was all alone, seemingly without backup, and what happened after the officer booked it down the stairs.
Of course they wouldn't. Why would they?
But police scanner traffic does offer some information.
He pointed at the gun at the mother and father multiple times.
Oh, one, is he contained in the house right now?
He's in the stairwell.
And there are some clues on the video. The timestamp reached June 22nd. It matches the time and date of a SWAT call that CPD responded to near Oglesby and 69th in the South Shore neighborhood.
So the mom said he may possibly have a gun. He may possibly have a gun. He's in the house there. Use caution.
Now, we do know that incident did end peacefully. Nobody was injured, but
thank God for that. Honestly, you guys, I can't tell you how much I laughed when I saw that particular video because, I mean, these are police officers, man. The dude just didn't want no smoke. A black dude holding a gun and me shooting that dude. a lot of things might have been going on through this particular man's mind and also through those ladies' minds, and it could be the same thing. Now, in the last year or so, police officers have been demonized worse than ever. Police officers have been made as the enemy of the people, and many a times nowadays when police officers are doing what they should be doing, like the Micaiah Bryant situation, they're being held accountable. I mean, everyone is saying that they should be held accountable. The only person I actually saw when it comes to the left-wing media that actually spoke for the police officer was Don Lemon, which was to my surprise. But people from The View, there was another show called The View, and people from MSNBC almost literally destroyed this guy for defending a police officer for doing what a police officer should do. Now, many of these mainstream media outlets that are international or they are national, they have a lot of influence on what's going on. And Lord knows what these departments are saying, because the way that the news is being covered by mainstream media, by all this alternate mainstream media, you will talk about BuzzFeed and all this left-wing media as well, like BuzzFeed, Washington Post, or whatever you want to call them, and Occupy Democrats, who would always find the clips of some police officers doing something with a white fella whom they didn't arrest or something because the white fella was throwing a spatula at them, will say things like, look at this white supremacists, they won't do this to their fellow white people, but look at what they did to George Floyd, and look at what they did to Adam Toledo, and look at what they did to Michael Brown, and whatever. They would be finding those little clips of when these things happen with black people, but never show you the clips of when black people are actually doing something wrong and police officers do literally nothing, like this situation where these two ladies ran away because they have been recently, the argument that has been placed out there is, why should police officers be getting involved in dispute between black communities? It's an argument that has been placed out there, right? I've heard this from The View. I've heard this from a lot of left-wing media. I've heard this from a lot of people that were interviewed on the street. Black people on the streets were saying they shouldn't be getting involved when, you know, there's a fight between black people. And what did we see in that video? A black guy trying to shoot another black guy. Well, these girls didn't want no smoke either. They didn't want to get none of that smoke. Besides, the dude had an AR-15 and they had handguns. Although I'm making light of this and I'm trying to make an excuse for them, I still think they should be goddamn fired, because that dude could have been killed. Fortunately, he wasn't killed, he was shot in the leg. The dude could have been killed, and it's their job to actually save that person. If someone else's life is in threat or in danger as well as theirs, they're supposed to save that person's life. Same goes for the police officer that ran downstairs to get some Dunkin' Donuts. Now, when I listened to that full report, I'm guessing the reason why that police officer ran away, the other guy ran away, was because it was actually a SWAT team call. But he probably was the nearest police officer and he heard the call on the radio and maybe decided to see if he can de-escalate the particular situation. And, you know, a black guy pointing guns at him, and in his mind, look, if I shoot this dude right now, I might face some court cases, I might go to jail, the department might have to pay a couple of million to this guy's family, and this guy might become some kind of a martyr who will get murals with angel wing painted on his back, and he's also going to get some statues put in front of, you know, schools, or maybe in front of councils or something like that. So I'm going to be in shit. So I'd rather go get me some Dunkin' Donuts at home or something and just sit down and enjoy my life and face the music with the department. Because where the police people are today is that they're doomed if they do, they're doomed if they don't. And if you doubt me, there is this video that I saw, a small clip of this guy who was taunting a black police officer, taunting him, but this is the part that he showed us. He said, are you gonna shoot me like Micaiah Bryant? And the guy went, are you gonna stab someone? Are you gonna try to stab someone like Micaiah Bryant? And that guy, the police officer that said that in response, what did he do? What did he face? He was supposed to be part of a special squad unit. He just made a special squad unit and they suspended him. They actually kicked him off the special squad. They suspended him and then they benched him by putting him behind the desk. That was a good police officer who was put behind the desk. Now, if it wasn't for a guy like Officer Tatum, he's a YouTuber that I watch. He's a former police officer. He came to the rescue. He's got millions and millions of viewers. This guy actually wrote to the department, got many of his viewers to write to the department, and they bombarded them with a lot of emails and they reinstated this young man back to his position. If it wasn't for that guy, this good police officer would have lost his job over a verbal altercation of just a few seconds. That's how thin the margins are for police officers today. So you can imagine what would be running through their heads. These ladies, eventually, to their credit, they did turn around and go back and do their job, and they saved the other guy's life. But that's not going to count for anything, because the first thing they did and their first reaction was to flee. That's their first reaction. And I'm pretty sure the one in the driver's seat who drove away was the person that probably has been suspended right now. Maybe the other lady said, hey, we need to go back. So this isn't about affirmative action or anything like that. Women are just as capable as men, in my own personal opinion.
Officer Alyssa Vogel's body-worn camera is rolling as she races through Times Square to save a 4-year-old girl hit by a stray bullet.
When you hear shots fired in Times Square, it's a little alarming, but we responded quickly.
Watch as Officer Vogel finds the child bleeding. She fastens a tourniquet around the child's left leg.
Took the tourniquet off my gun belt and started applying it to her leg. That's when Officer Sparta and I put it on her and then checked her to see if she had any more gunshot wounds.
Officer Vogel scoops up the little girl, running again to a waiting ambulance. Officer Vogel praising the child today.
For a little girl that was just shot, she was so calm. And I think her being so calm is why officers were able to get her the help that she needed as quickly as possible.
The girl was one of 3 people shot. Police sources say Farrakhan Muhammad pulled the trigger but missed the intended target, his own brother.
At the end of the day, I do believe that women, it isn't about affirmative action. I know that there are coward women out there and there are coward men out there, as well as there are women who have a lot of masculine traits as well to them, and a lot of men that also have those traits that are doing the job, the traits that you need to do the job. So they have it. So it's not about that. But in any case, the polarized situations that we have Black Lives Matter to thank for it. We have these leftists to thank for it. We have all these Black Lives Matter white liberal allies, as they call themselves, to thank for it. And we also have mainstream media as well as the Democratic Party, who's using all these things to continue to stay in power, to manipulate people's mind, to stay in power, to thank for what's going on, because crime is shooting up badly. A lot of police officers are quitting because they can't face it. They can't face it. If they do their job, they're doomed. If they don't do their job, they're doomed. So what's the point of trying? That's the question that is on ground at the moment. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. Let me know if you feel that women aren't appropriate, or if they are. Let me know in the comment section below. Or do you think that it is because of the BLM rhetoric of police officers are white supremacists, even though we just saw that the police chief is black? And that might be the 3rd or 4th or 5th police chief I've seen giving statements in the last 1, 2, 3 weeks. DC police chief is also a black man. I can't remember if it's Seattle police chief. The former Seattle police chief was a black woman and was kicked out, right? So police chiefs all around, many of them are blacks. Many of them are blacks. So let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, and ding that bell for notification. And I'm going to be seeing you guys on #day number 3, which will most likely be tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Have a great rest of your week ahead. Happy hump day. Peace. Siles out of here. Catch you guys on the next one.